Hello guys, my name is Aviwa Melane. I am 30 years old. I am someone who was diagnosed with depression, and I am living and learning every day, taking it one step at a time. But today I'd like to talk about childhood traumas and depression, because childhood traumas and depression is a reaction to childhood trauma. At times there are a lot of things that trigger depression, but for me, this is what I felt I needed to talk about. I've been seeing that even our production houses, they've been covering stories, and I'd like to send a big shout out to the producers and the team of Deep City Mzansi. The story that they covered with Knox and the mother, or the mother and daughter strained relationship between Knox's mother and Knox, for me, it made me proud that our film industry or people in the public limelight are now tackling real issues that affect us on a daily basis, because there are many people who suffer from that broken mother-daughter relationship or a father-daughter relationship because of projections. Now, for those who don't watch Deep City or who don't know what the story entails, the mother got pregnant when she was young, and she was chased out of her home, and then now the boyfriend, which is Knox's father, disappointed her. She did not know where to turn to, and now in her later years she is struggling to have a relationship with this child, because this child, to her, it reminds her of the pain and the anger and the disappointment that she felt when she got pregnant, because now being kicked out of home, not knowing where you're gonna sleep, and not having anyone, any support, that does something to your mental state. And everyone could see that this child is trying by all means. She's showing you that she's now making it. But with Knox's mother, she did not want anything to do with the child. So for me, that said, wow, we are moving in the right direction. But I've also seen a post on social media where we laugh at pictures that circulate on social media that says there was this one particular picture of a woman in church's clothing, and she was like in her uniform, in a church uniform, or the Methodist mother, and you guys kept on creating these memes about her, that she's looking at the door and calling out to the child, can I send you to the store? Depression. Can you cook, or are you still having depression? Or hayi bethuna ningamthethisi, uzawuphinda athi phaa kula psychologist yakhe une-depression. It's things like that that make people scared to open up about mental illness, because depression is a mental illness. And sometimes mental illnesses or depression, stress, stem from situations that we find in our homes, or situations that we grow up to see, because some, it's death. I read a story somewhere where a young boy got hold of his father's gun. They say this boy was 2 years old, and then the mother was on a Zoom meeting, and then the gun went off. Do you not think that when the child learns in his later stages that his mom died because he was handling a gun, and the people that were on that Zoom call with the mother, how did they feel? That is a childhood trauma. That child is now having this mental picture, even though now he can't, because he's 2 years old, he can't say that I killed mom. But when we grow up, nothing gets hidden and people will talk, or he will have a memory, and then it triggers. It's not even about that, or there is a certain language, or there is minimal talk when it comes to parents and children. In the community that I grew up in, parents can never say sorry to a child. And I'm seeing a lot of movements that are talking about the generation that I belong to, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and we will be a generation that is able to say sorry to our children, because the scars that we get from home also play a part in mental illness or childhood traumas. Now, I felt that I wanted us to talk more or further about childhood traumas in a more sort of a roundtable discussion. I wanted us I want to create the space where we can interact. So after I've uploaded this video, I'd like to do a live where people can share their stories, and I will share my story with you guys. What are the things that I went through in my childhood that are now affecting me in my adult life, and how I am still trying to recover from the scars that I have. Even though they are not scars that are visible, but for the people that are around me, they know the scars, they know the behavior patterns, they know what I am currently going through, because I am in therapy. I am coming back from a lot of things that I'm becoming undone. I'm on a journey back to myself. I found my laughter by identifying that this is where the problem is, and how I could have played it, or how it could have been, but it is what it is now, and what I should be able to accept and what I cannot accept in my life. I found that also we don't talk about mothers that go to Cape Town or Joburg to find work and leave children behind. And now they meet someone, they get married, they never tell them about this child or children. Now, having a parent figure deny your reality or your existence can also play part of childhood traumas, because now here you are trying to build a relationship, or trying to, let me go search for my mom, or let me go search for my father, and then you are told by aunts or uncles that no, you cannot go visit your mom's marital home or your dad's marital home, because he never disclosed that you are a person that exists. Or having a father or a mother that drinks alcohol and then becomes abusive. You could hear that person from the corner of the street, they in the community that I grew up in, it wasn't even something that eyothukwayo, yinto eyazwayo uba oomama okanye ootata bayafika sebesombela umntu xa uyabona ke ngoku ngaloo weekend funeka nibaleke nina, uzawube elingisa abantu, uzawube betha abantu, laa nto yoba kufuneka kufowunelwe amapolisa oko ngeweekend, kuyaziwa uba usele utata lapha okanye usele umama lapha. That causes childhood traumas to us, the kids, or to the people that live with this person. because now you are humiliated when they say nangu mamakho kanye nangu tatakho ucholwe he's drunk akakwazi ukuhamba, okanye now niyabethwa istrato sijonge kuni and ingase ungazifihla, ingase, like, for me, I want us honestly to be honest and apply izinto that, or instill values in the children or the generation that is growing now. Bangaze bazifumana izinto that we grew up under. I felt when Gomora was doing that pageant, and then Utiamo was asked about why does she think that we have low self-esteem, and she said her answer was because we in the community that she grew up in, it is rare for a parent to say you are beautiful, you are enough, you are loved, you can conquer the world, you can be anything that you want to. And now it makes it hard for us to believe it, because with the cruelty of the world or things that you grow up and you face in your adult life, if you had the grounding, if you had the foundation that no matter what, you stay and you are instilling that you believe that you can conquer anything, how you talk to yourself can either make or break you. We were never taught self-love. Now, how do we break that? How do we close that gap so that in 10, 20 years time, my child does not come to YouTube, my child does not go to TV or go to social media and say that, hold up, I am suffering from childhood traumas because I witnessed so much pain, so much anger in the household that I grew up in. I would love for you to listen or to identify your childhood traumas and find ways to deal with them, be it therapy, be it telling the people that caused you to these traumas that no, you did this, hence I am now doing this. Kuthiwe mhlawumbi yho umama pha akangeneki okanye utata pha awukwazi nokuthetha naye, kanti that person is broken inside. There's a saying that says broken people break people, because lo mntu has not dealt with i-trauma yakhe, now uyayiprojecta onto the next person. But when is it enough? When do we say, no, I want to change for the better? When is it enough? So I'd like, honestly, for a world, for a generation, for communities that build each other, communities that the seeds that we plant in our children, the seeds that we plant in ourselves, we show love, we show unity, we show support, and we understand mental illness is not a choice. In one of my therapy sessions, my psychologist recommended a book for me to read. I am currently reading the book Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. I've learned how to assert myself. I've learned how to say yes and how to say no, and how to take control of my life. I am still in a learning curve, and I'd love for everyone or anyone who feels that this video talks to them to get a hold of the book, or just start your healing journey. Because childhood trauma, even though we try to run away from it, it affects how we do things in the adult life and how we relate to people. I do not want to break my child or my future children or the next person that I come across because I am broken. I never dealt with things. I want to build, I want to be able to talk. I want my child to be able to talk to me and say, Mom, I do not like this, or you hurt my feelings in this regard. And I do not want to look at her and say, you are because your father did this, or you are because so and so did this to me, I am doing this to you. Sometimes, even without realizing it, you project your anger towards the next person. So in closing, I would be sharing a date for my live, and where people can share their stories and how we think we can help each other to talk about these things and make the world a better place. Please follow me on my Instagram page at aviwe_preston. Someone said if you rearrange depression, you will find the words I pressed on. And this is me living to tell my tale, how I pressed on and how I am still pressing on, hence the name aviwe_pressed on, where I'll be doing the lives and the recordings will be shared here on my